Hello again, everybody, and welcome to another edition of NFL Dynasty Picks going into Week 11, coming off of Week 10, where a lot of teams made a statement and a lot of teams said this is the division that they would like to win going into the playoffs, winning the wild card spot. Week 11, that means we have about 6 or 7 more weeks to go. And the first game we're going to talk about this week is the AFC North matchup between the Cincinnati Bengals and the Baltimore Ravens.
Are we counting Cincinnati as good yet?
Cincinnati is 6-3.
So quality team. I'm taking Baltimore because
yeah,
they made a deal with the devil. Like they will not beat a team that they're supposed to beat, but they'll beat everyone that should give them competition. So if it's a quality team, I'm going with Baltimore.
Yeah, they definitely lost quite convincingly last week. It's like Baltimore only steps up to teams that they really should beat.
I thought we got through that shit after college ball. You don't look past anybody, and they keep looking past teams that they should win. It should be easy wins, and their losses on their collar. Hope it doesn't come back and bite them in the ass.
Let me tell you why Cincinnati should win. They are a team that does not get that much respect in the NFL. Their defense is one of the top-rated defenses in the NFL. They were tied for first place at the AFC North until recently last week when Pittsburgh reclaimed it by defeating them. And like I said, because the team doesn't get a lot of respect, they need this victory so they can show that they are actually a contender not only for the division but for the playoffs. The problem is, I still don't have that respect for them. I still don't think that they're a team that can defeat a team in the same caliber as the Baltimore Ravens. I think they're in the top 10% of the league, yes, but it's still not in that top 5% echelon. So I'm going to have to go with the Pittsburgh. I'm sorry. It's just a natural reaction to pick the future Super Bowl champions.
No bias. No bias.
But I'm going to have to go with the Baltimore Ravens on this one.
I don't know that the trend of what I used to say was that Baltimore is not very consistent, but Phil brings up a very good point, and that is some form of consistency that you suck against the teams you're supposed to beat, and you beat the teams pretty good that you're supposed to at least give you some competition, or at least where it's more of a toss-up. So, but I think Baltimore is gonna change the trend here, and a young quarterback against Baltimore's defense, Joe Flacco. Hopefully, the Ravens will find a way to neutralize him. Just hey, why don't they just do it like Denver did last week and just let Joe Flacco throw the ball like 5 times and just give it to Ray Rice every play?
I think last week Tebow only threw twice.
I threw 8 times. Oh. Completed twice.
Okay, 2 for 8.
Completed 2. Right. Yeah, 2 for 8. So I think if the Ravens try that concept, maybe I think they'll have a good chance to win. I mean, I think the Ravens have more talent. The Bengals have more young talent, especially players like AJ Green on offense. Andy Dalton, but I think the experience is going to be more important in a key game like this as we get down closer to the playoffs. So I'm picking Baltimore.
Okay. The New York Jets travel to Denver to face the Broncos. We all believe that the Jets will have enough firepower to defeat the Denver Broncos. And the Jacksonville Jaguars travel over to Cleveland to face the Browns. Joel and myself picked the Cleveland Browns to take out the Jacksonville Jaguars, or Phil is going to go with the Jacksonville Jaguars. The Dallas Cowboys, NFC East rivals, face the Washington Redskins in the game that's a rematch of an earlier game, which the Washington Redskins lost. So it was beginning possibly of their downhill spiral. Washington's won 1 game since. Actually, no, Washington might have lost every single game since, I think. I don't remember which one, but
they beat St. Louis.
They beat St. Louis. So Washington, it was beginning their downward spiral.
We actually agreed to talk about this?
Yeah, Dallas and Washington. This is a big game for the NFC East.
Big game for who?
It's a big game for the Cowboys. The Cowboys are actually on a bit of a roll. They are definitely a contender up there now. Wild card spot. Actually, they can win the division. The Giants don't look the strongest sometimes.
Ouch. I don't want to say it, but I'm picking Dallas. Washington just has nothing to give me any hope that this game is going to be competitive. Be up there at the stadium. Please make it interesting so I can make some money. But I don't see no way Washington's winning this game.
This is going to be a heated game. I think Washington's going to come out and play the best game they've had in a long time. I I said the Washington Redskins will end up 6-10, and Washington's trying their hardest to prove me wrong. They're trying their hardest to prove that they're actually not going to win 6 games this season. I had a little conversation with somebody, a fan, who was trying to tell somebody else that they were going to do well, they were going to win this Sunday, and that Oakland Raider fan told them that Washington Redskins will not win another game the rest of the season. They said they're so bad right now they couldn't beat the University of Maryland, and from what I see, he's right.
Maybe you didn't see that Maryland Notre Dame game. I was there too. Maryland got their ass handed to them very badly.
Notre Dame, right?
Yes.
Washington lost to the Miami Dolphins last week. Before last week, could not win a single game, but for some strange reason,
they've been close in all their games.
They've been close, and
easily been 4-4.
As Rashad would say, close only counts on horseshoes and hand grenades, and close did not happen with the Washington Redskins. They defeated the Washington Redskins quite soundly also, and Dallas Cowboys should be able to defeat the Washington Redskins. Not as easily as the Miami Dolphins did, but they will defeat the Washington Redskins. It's a divisional game. Unless the Philadelphia Eagles are playing it, it's never really a blowout.
First of all, I want to address the comment. I don't even know if it's worth commenting on. That is a completely ridiculous statement. I mean, the #1 college football team is LSU, and what's the worst team in the league right now? The Colts. I mean, maybe the Colts would destroy LSU. I mean, any NFL team. I mean, Reggie Bush in college was a monster, averaged over 8 yards a carry. He's only averaging 4 in the NFL, so. You know, I did the comparison between
Indianapolis Colts face the Washington Redskins right now. Who will win?
Probably the Redskins.
Okay.
Well, I mean, that has nothing to do with my point. My point is that the idea that a college team would beat a pro team.
Do you think the Colts will defeat the Washington Redskins?
You know, I don't think the Colts will beat LSU. LSU's defense is their bread and butter. Their offense is kind of.
That is a ridiculous statement.
Okay, the offense get mauled, but LSU's defense is.
LSU's defense would get ran over big time. Reggie Wayne, you tell me all these players, pro players that's been around experience, it just wouldn't happen. But back to the game at hand. You know, between these two teams, you know, typically you have to throw out all the stats and all of that because, you know, it's so much bigger than that. But, you know, FedEx Field is going to be live. You know, I've been there at these games before, and it's just a different experience. But right now, the Redskins just do not have the talent. And
it's like even if
I'm getting emotional right now thinking about how bad they are. But yeah, they just
they're injured.
So
even when someone comes off with being inactive and shows his ass, he gets injured. You know, like with Lewis Hankerton, whatever his name is. Hankerton. We'll just keep it Hankerton. You know, he comes out to have a monster game, and then he's out for the rest of the year. I'm just hoping the Rackpo and Kerrigan don't go down. You know,
just every week is something else.
Somebody else. There's not that many more quality players for them to lose.
Honestly, I don't even think it matters. I mean, even if second tandem balls, even if the key players that they so-called say are injured, but even there, they as long as you don't have a quarterback in this league, you're not going to win, and which is why they're not going to beat the Dallas Cowboys, and which I will have to agree with his Miami Dolphins or Oakland Raiders, you know,
counterpart talking that shit.
Co-worker, even though his first statement was ridiculous, I do agree with the fact that the Redskins may not win another game this season. I can admit that as a Redskins fan. And they're not going to win this one.
So they're in the running for the Matt Barkley sweepstakes because Andrew Luck's already taken.
Yeah, sure. I guess.
Carolina goes up north to Detroit to face the Detroit Lions. Phil, myself, and Joel all picked the Detroit Lions to win that game. Jackson, I already said that. Buffalo facing their AFC East rivals, the Miami Dolphins, who coming off a 2-game winning streak, and we all predicted to end this Sunday as the Buffalo Bills should pick up that victory. The San Diego Chargers, season they're having, facing the Chicago Bears, who've been red hot the past couple weeks.
I'm going to go with Chicago on this one, and kind of hurts me because I would like to go with San Diego. I'm still hoping that the late season surge comes, and I just don't see it happening this week.
I'm also going to go with Chicago. I think San Diego is pretty much reached their breaking point now. They don't know what they're going to do. I think they're beating themselves. I think they're panicking, and Chicago's going to be able to exploit it this week. So I'm going to go to the Bears.
I picked San Diego for absolutely no reason. I'm coming back.
Speaking of crazy picks, Oakland versus Minnesota. Joel picks the Minnesota Vikings to defeat the Oakland Raiders. Phil and I going with the smart money with the Oakland Raiders on that one. Minnesota has not been looking that good at all. I mean, if I'm giving them any kind of credit by saying that good, where the Oakland Raiders have been pretty consistent with their victories. And Seattle goes to St. Louis, and Joel once again is the odd man out, picking the St. Louis Rams to defeat the Seattle Seahawks, where Phil and I believe the Seattle Seahawks can pull up that victory. The dynamic Philadelphia Eagles are facing their NFC East rival. Seems to be a rivalry week. The New York Giants, who defeated them last time they played.
Is that the Eagles record like
3-6.
2-6,
3-6.
1-8,
3-6.
You like no rubber there. I mean, we the same shit, so.
Yeah, but we don't go around saying Philadelphia's dynamic. I mean, I'm yeah. They know their place. There's no reason why Philadelphia should be 3-6. There should be no reason we should not pick them right now with all that fucking talent you have on that team. Is it anyone injured?
Michael Vick has broken ribs.
Oh, that's right. But I like his backup better. Don't even put in Vincian. Put in Mike Kafka. He's a better pure passer. Then you had Jerry Macklin dropping the ball, so to make him look bad. So, yeah, I'm going to go with the Giants.
I'm going with the Eagles.
Nothing.
I think the Eagles are going to pull it off this week.
That's it? No keychain coming out of nowhere?
Giants,
there's no unbiased Eagle pride coming nowhere?
I'm unbiased.
Nothing?
I'm about to go with the Giants. I think the Eagles are the most undisciplined team in the league, which was just proven by Deshaun Jackson's behavior. And,
what did he do to get sent out?
I think he missed a freaking
special teams meeting. I think they would have won that game if they would have had him.
I don't know about that, but I mean,
I think they lost by what?
I don't know.
4 points.
I didn't really care.
I think Deshaun Jackson's worth the touchdown per game. It's
indicative of the carelessness of this team. I mean, they have the talent. They just, I don't know what it is. Yeah. I mean, it's not like their players ain't been in the league, but their key players have been in the league for a minute, so not like that long, but at least 3 years. I mean, it's all.
It's still like the maturity, like they've been getting all the glitz and glamour because they're that talented a group. So
maybe
it's kind of like, to a point now they just hit a wall.
Maybe it's got kind of like everybody talked about it, said we're this good, so we don't have to work this hard. We can just go solely on our talent, and obviously
there's no such thing as paper champions.
Yeah,
and that's what y'all got dubbed, and you just took it and ran with it.
We all picked the San Francisco 49ers to win at home against the Arizona Cardinals, and we all picked the Atlanta Falcons to win at home against the Tennessee Titans. The Patriots also have been picked by us to win at home against the Kansas City Chiefs. And for our final game, we're going to talk about the Tampa Bay Buccaneers traveling to Green Bay to face the Packers.
Nothing to say. Green Bay.
I have a coworker, I mentioned it before. He's a San Francisco 49er fan. He believes the San Francisco 49ers are going to the Super Bowl. I say, what about the Green Bay Packers if Philadelphia doesn't turn the season around? I said, what about the Green Bay Packers? They just seem unstoppable. We never had our half game, okay? Let's just be serious, okay? We're all picking Green Bay. All right, we never had our half thing. So, I mean, this was a pretty short video because we're already done. Let's talk about who. Are you going to pick somebody out of Green Bay? Do you want to tell why you want to pick a Green Bay?
You want to talk about how they're going to dominate? No, nothing.
Right now, if the season were to end, I mean, I'm not going to go through who's in the playoffs and what seed's number one, what seed's number two. If you want me to, I will. But who do you see going to Super Bowl right now? This is half season review because we still got like 5 minutes. So what do you say? NFC
Green Bay and Baltimore.
Okay, Green Bay and Baltimore. Joe, who you got?
Still thinking. Give me like 2 minutes. Not 2 minutes, but like.
Why do you think Green Bay and Baltimore?
Because Green Bay is just steamrolling over everyone. When we get to the playoffs, I think that'll finally be the time where they'll see that they have some competition. Like, there's no one out there right now that's giving them any type of.
Who's gonna be their competition?
San Fran. If the Giants can keep their shit together, maybe the Giants. Might be it.
San Fran, the Giants.
Yeah, I mean, maybe Chicago. No, maybe Chicago. And Baltimore, I'm saying that because it's going to be quality players all in the playoffs. So they'll get there and they'll just win.
I'm ready to make my pick. And that is, I'm going to have to say it's going to be a rematch of Super Bowl 45. Green Bay and Pittsburgh. To me, it's pretty clear. I mean, if the season were to end today, as far as the two conferences, I know Pittsburgh has lost to Baltimore twice, but I think it's bigger than that. Baltimore, they do show up on a big stage, but, you know, to me, when you lose to bad teams like they have, I mean, to me, that shows a lot about them, you know, as far as having an identity, which they do not have. You know, they don't. It seems like maybe they don't, you know, can't figure out the little things. But I think Pittsburgh's been there before, and Green Bay has been there before. And I mean, at this point, the only thing that to me that'll keep Green Bay out of the Super Bowl right now is Aaron Rodgers being injured or something crazy like that. Because I mean, he is unstoppable at this point, in my opinion.
I think honestly, like week 12, maybe week 14, they're gonna he's gonna break a toenail, and they're gonna sit him down, and they're gonna let Matt Flynn, if he's still their backup, they're gonna let him play, and they're still gonna win by a field goal, whoever they're playing in week 16. I don't even know what it is.
It's an interesting concept.
Tell you, they're not gonna let Aaron Rodgers get hurt. He's gonna take one good hit, maybe week 14 or something. They're going to say, okay, bring your ass over here. Take a break. We got this. And the team will still win.
The sad thing is it just happened, and I stopped it. So we got Green Bay. So we all agree Green Bay, because I picked Green Bay too. He picked Green Bay and Pittsburgh. He picked Green Bay and Baltimore. I'm going to go with Green Bay and Pittsburgh also. I'm sure that's a big surprise to everybody there. But here's what we have. The season will end today right now. Green Bay will be number 1 seed. San Francisco will be number 2. New Orleans will be number 3. New York Giants will be number 4. Detroit and Chicago will round up with 5 and 6. Look at that in the NFC.
They have 3 NFC North teams in the playoffs.
Looking at that NFC, it's just Green Bay all over the place. They are the only team that looks like they had the firepower, in my opinion, that can stop them. Is the New Orleans Saints, and they had a shootout earlier this season. New Orleans also can be consistent this season, I've seen. So, I mean, they have the capabilities. They're the only team that possibly can stop them, but I don't see them stopping them. In the AFC we're in today. Number 1 seed actually be Houston Texans, followed by the Pittsburgh Steelers, New England Patriots, Baltimore, and then Cincinnati. Oh, and Oakland, rounding off. It just seems Pittsburgh.
Like Houston's gone because Matt Schaub is out for us this season. So they lose their first game.
Pittsburgh can defeat any team on here. The only team they have problems with is Baltimore, and Baltimore and Pittsburgh wouldn't even face each other right away. But so bottom line, Baltimore will probably be out before Pittsburgh gets there. I see another Super Bowl rematch. The first one since '93, I believe, with Dallas and Buffalo. So I mean, it's been a crazy season. I mean, you know, sometimes I thought some other teams. Green Bay was the only team that you just knew was a contender from the get-go. But I mean, it still has been an interesting season, and one thing I think we should be grateful for is the fact that we had a season, because for a while there, we didn't think we were going to have a season. And if you go to other sports, like the third most attended, I'm sorry, the 4th most attended sport
really
in the country right now. Yeah, I thought it was 3rd. I mean, I forgot. They just got replaced.
NHL made a comeback and is over NBA.
It's NFL, MLB, MLS, NBA. Wow. And NHL. MLS passed it about a month or so ago. And NBA is actually going to decrease now because
Yeah, cancel more games.
Right.
I think no one cares.
Yeah, I really don't. I think that's going to hurt them when they finally come with a deal. No one misses basketball. They don't want to miss it when playoff time comes around, when everyone actually pays attention.
Well, hockey had this thing, the country truly did not care. Basketball right now, the country does not care. It might start caring when the football season's over, because that's when a lot of people do start paying attention to basketball, after the Super Bowl. So we'll see.
Now you have hockey. And hockey, for lack of something else on, it's pretty interesting to watch.
I have no problem with it.
Right.
But I'm not going to lose any sleep over it.
All right. Last week, Phil, 5 victories, 9 losses. Joel, 8 victories, 6 losses. Chris, 9 victories, 5 losses. Making that comeback, making that climb. Joel's now ahead, 80 victories, 48 losses. Phil, second place, 77 victories, 51 losses. I'm right behind Phil with 76 victories, 52 losses. Climbing after this week. Joel went out on the limb quite a few times, so he's in a bit of a trouble. But we'll see if I can get up there, because I know all you all are rooting for me.
Not really.
All right, that wraps up this week. We'll see you next week for week 12. Once again, for Phil, for Joel, I am Chris. Stay tuned. Enjoy football.
Check the shirt. Fuck Dallas.